Hello, I'm Joachim Duplessis. Welcome to the HTS Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance delivered his budget policy address on Tuesday, 23rd April, during which he outlined a number of projects and initiatives, both private and public, to be undertaken in the 2023-2024 fiscal year, dubbed the Year of Infrastructure. St. Lucia is expected to experience a building boom in the coming year, with some major projects to be undertaken alongside those that are in progress. Contractors have been complaining about the shortage in quality tradesmen and women to drive their projects. This situation is expected to become even more acute with the new initiatives. So we ask, should St. Lucia undertake a massive training of its unskilled workers to take advantage of the anticipated building boom? We took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
We have brilliant, bright fellas in St. Lucia that did not go to school or have no training, but on the job they receive training to do what they are doing. But then if you have people trained from school, you understand, with those things, at least you become more progressive, because the more education that the people have, you know, is a better, more productive, and it's more economical for the country. So that is why you have foreign workers coming in. Because if you don't have trained workers for that particular thing that you need to do, you understand, you need to bring in foreign workers, and that is not good for our economy.
First to begin, the locals, the Lucians, youngsters are coming up. They refuse to have a profession. They refuse, and they are not interested in construction or taking a course or working on their own. Because when I look at things, in a short space of time, I mean, contractors will be looking on the outskirts in the neighboring islands to bring in workers. Training is very important. And again, I would like to warn the leader of my country. I wish if he could prepare or organize an academy or a schooling where I could get guys doing joinery, construction, steel work, steel bending, or furnitures, all sorts of trade, you know. Because them youngsters, as though to me, they are not interested in work.
I think that should be part of the school curriculum, because our generation now, most of the young children now, they don't want to do it like we used to do it before. We used to go in a workshop, learn a trade, but it doesn't happen like before. All youngsters, before they start a work, they want money, but it's important to have it in the school curriculum. We need more trade schools in St. Lucia, so the youngsters can at least learn a trade. It's very important. We find a lot of the contractors having people from other OECS countries to come and work in St. Lucia, because we don't have enough tradesmen in St. Lucia.
As Mugabe once said at the UN, it is not how populated the country is, it is how productive people are in the country. And that sets the basis for a discussion or an argument that you must be able to harness your human resource base to effect that they are able to be productive. And being productive is like being part of the GDP of the country as it relates to people's productivity. The incubator for that starts with the school. And I'm happy that the government has now introduced what they call a TVET program, at least 4 schools to start with. And the whole idea is to begin to channel young persons or persons into skills development. It has the implication in many ways, negative, positive, as to if your country you have a high population and then you have unskilled workers, the temptation would be to bring in persons who are skilled and more or less nullify your local people in the country. I think that the government should be able to develop programs to create skills, because if you have skilled persons, you are able to funnel within the population or the populace persons at different levels, whether you be a teacher, whether you be a mason, whether you be a plumber. So very early you are able to realize productivity at the highest level. I believe that the government should begin to look at a very, very formidable program that will be able to advance the country in the right direction as it relates to national development.
Oh, most definitely, I believe that, because the school's supposed to prepare us for the workplace, so I believe there should be some programs, some even after school program in place to train the young people, to get them ready for the work out there, because most of the time you find there's not enough skill people in St. Lucia, they have to bring people from outside. A case in point example, our nurses. We're losing many nurses go out to go and work overseas because they get more money and more benefits. They believe the grass is always greener. So we can retain these nurses, put things in place so that our workers stay and they do not go abroad and work.
Well, Colin, let me tell you, once you have skilled workers, you have productivity. But my only problem is, when you have skilled workers, you have to pay them. So this is where the minimum wage comes in. So I only hope the government, they work on that as soon as possible. So if you want skilled workers, you have to pay for the skills. And that's the only way you can keep people in the country too. You can avoid the migration, okay, by paying the skilled workers. So we want a minimum wage too. Come on, government, come on. Hit the bull by the balls, man, and do what you have to do. Give us a minimum wage. We're ready for that. Minimum wage, I want.
We have a right to go to CVQ just on the St. Jude's Highway, that we can train our people. Our people refuse to go and train to get themselves adequately prepared as to taking the job. You have to start from somewhere and elevate to a certain degree.
What I think is they have to train workers so that they can get work when there is work to be done, and also the contractors have to pay the workers fairly. You understand? Because a lot of the contractors, you have skilled workers, they're not paying them and they have to go do something else or go somewhere else. But we need to train people so that when there is the job, they can get a blight.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Philip J. Pierce says St. Lucia can expect a livable minimum wage by the 1st of August 2024, Emancipation Day. The livable minimum wage was one of the campaign promises by the then opposition St. Lucia Labour Party. The livable minimum wage will be established on an hourly rate and will vary from sector to sector. This development comes along with the increase in the minimum pension payments for both government pensioners and NIC recipients. This increase is expected to have a positive impact on workers' morale, productivity, and welfare. Prime Minister Pierce says that the rates will be gazetted as required by law to allow workers and employers' representatives to submit comments and objections. So we ask, do you think the livable minimum wage will have an impact on workers' productivity? Voting is easy. Just log on to htsstlucia.org and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.